Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. I am Yael Tygiel. That's Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello. Did you even recognize it with my new hair?
I didn't. I was like, who is that?
Who is that?
Gorgeous. For those listening on the audio version, you're missing Taylor's new hair and it's beautiful.
You're missing out, everyone.
True. This is season 7, episode 17, Class. Before we jump into it, if you find yourself in a situation where you need to talk to somebody, please reach out to RAINN. Their number is 1-800-656-4673. 1-800-656-4673. I feel like that's a number for those who are sexually assaulted and need help. If you're a gambling addict, please reach out to a gambling number, which I did not provide for you. But the one I did, Taylor, doesn't it like spell something?
It like spells out hope, everyone. I don't know if you've heard.
Oh my God. Amazing. Also, if this is your first time joining us here on S Review, welcome. Consider this your content warning. Sometimes we say things that are especially heinous. And therefore you should be prepared because this episode deals with real issues, but we will not.
We're not serious people, as they said on Succession once. We're not serious people.
Yep, we're just like Succession here.
This is like literally, I know that you guys are missing Succession Sundays, but like this is pretty much the exact alternative that we're providing you.
Basically, fuck off. So let's jump in.
Yes.
Here's the quick cap for season 7, episode 17, Class. A Hudson University co-ed dependent on financial aid is found murdered with an unexpected influx of cash. Yes, this is another Hudson episode because we're doing back to school.
And not say it with me into September. We're not doing that one. We're skipping that.
Nope, we're not doing Incest September.
No, we're not.
Apparently. What a bummer. You bummed me out.
Well, sorry. Someone has to keep us from getting canceled, okay? And that's me.
I look forward to years from now, someone discovering this episode and going, what the fuck are they talking about?
We cannot run for office. You realize that.
I don't ever intend to.
I'm just saying it's not an option for us anymore.
Yeah, okay.
We are done for. Okay.
Moving on. Taylor, what did you think about this episode?
I didn't remember this episode at all. It must have been so long since I've seen it, which is a shame because this is a great episode. And we like to talk about titles on here, and this is a fantastic title because it not only deals with class because she was a student at Hudson, but it deals with like socioeconomic class as well a lot. So I thought that was really clever of them. And it's fun. It has some wild twists. It has an evil roommate. I love an evil roommate always. Like that's a great character. I love a rebellious teen, an evil old woman, and a just mischievous little roommate. Those are my archetypes that I'm always into. And I just thought it was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
I'm so glad. So I remember bits and pieces of this episode. And when it started, I was like, shit, is this what Taylor's going to hate?
No.
And then and then all the fucking lines when they find the body, I was like, nope, Taylor's going to love this.
Yeah.
Alexa in the chat, who I believe recommended we do this episode when I looked for Hudson episodes, said great twists and turns I didn't remember about. Absolutely. Such a fun story that starts at one place and then right, we start with she's a prostitute, we go to she's a Hudson student who's selling term papers, which then takes us to a football player, which then takes us to a gambling ring.
Like obsessed. I love all of the different things. I love like communities that people don't see often do, like gambling and poker and all that is so interesting to me. Like Molly's Game is one of my favorite movies. I find it so fascinating. So I'm like, yeah, show me the poker world because I don't know anything about that and I find it really fascinating. And the court stuff I thought was really fun to come after that with, like, he's a gambling addict, and so he wasn't responsible, and all the debate on that, because it's like something new. It's not like it's a he said, she said, because they were both drunk. Like, listen, it's important, but I'm sick of it. We talk about that every week on the show. Gambling as a defense, that's a new one. Let's talk about it.
I agree. I think that the gambling addict defense was interesting. Talking about addiction in any way is interesting. I think that like people think about like alcohol and drug dependency as one thing, and other types of addictions they like don't include or they wave off. And I think that it's so fascinating to have this, especially because we have the lawyer explain like what happened to him and how, you know, how it affected him. And every time there's an addiction thing, I feel like Cragen talks about like his alcoholism. So it's really, this episode tied into our team very well as well, right? In addition to the addiction, we had Stabler. This is not the first or the last time that Stabler talks about like his working class resentment is what I call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Stabler. Like Benson was there at the beginning and then she comes in at the end and then
not there. I just like was reminded of that when you're talking about Stabler. I was like, no, where was Homegirl? Like, not here.
When she comes back with the information about Adam and she's like, I got what you asked for. I literally went, where's she been?
Yeah, she was not around. But here's the thing, it must be a good episode if I like still like it and Olivia's not around, because I mean she's the main draw for me. Like, let's be honest, we all know that. So when she disappears and I don't really notice, I'm like, okay, this is a good, entertaining, like engaging plot then.
I agree. I think it was just jarring when she came back because I was like, wait, she was there when they found the body. Like, how did she get taken off of this case?
It took that long to find what they were looking for.
I want to talk about selling term papers for a minute.
Sure. I know it well.
Taylor, why don't you tell us a little bit about this? Hypothetically.
Listen, hypothetically, I know someone. I know a friend.
Wait, let me back this up. So those who don't know what Taylor does in her free time, Taylor's an amazing writer. Like, she is an incredible writer. And I feel like that is just a nugget of information you should hold on to.
Thanks. So let's say
hypothetically,
I know other incredible writers who have done something similar to this, which is they, not me, not I am not talking about myself. Why would you assume that? This person signed up when they first moved to LA and didn't have any money and couldn't find a job yet. Signed up to tutor UCLA students in English on this very sketchy site. And they said, actually, it's not tutoring, it's just taking the class for them and writing the papers and assignments. And this person was like, oh, how interesting. And they did this for several semesters and made decent money off of it. So this person, I think, can really relate well to Caroline.
Thank you for sharing that story about your friend.
I gave you permission to share. Don't worry about it.
Those who know me know I was also not a good student. So I would say probably somebody who would be on the other side of this story.
You know someone who might have bought a term paper.
I never, ever bought a term paper. I need that on the record. I never paid money for somebody to write anything for me.
That's good to know, and you will not be charged with doing so.
I just said I never paid for it. Anyway, This episode
no money changed hands.
No money changed hands. This episode was written by Paul Grelong and directed by Aaron Libstat. I'm giving some shout outs here for some of the actors. Adam was played by Will Estes. Gloria, amazing performance. Gloria, played by, oh God, I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to go with Trist Kelly Dunn. Doug, aka Riley, our undercover. Fucking love this guy. Nick Sandow. You probably know him from Orange is the New Black.
Yep.
I was like, Caputo.
Yep.
And then because it needs to be pointed out, because I couldn't believe it until it happened. But Dr. Farouk, the professor, is played by Anjali Bhimani, who is in more recent episodes of SVU. She's the mom of the girl who gets taken by the welder that Muncie goes after.
Mm-hmm.
So she was in that 2-parter. And I was like, wait a second, I know her. That's Anjali. She is a very, very sweet person.
He was such a snitch in this episode.
I
was like, you're the worst.
So funny. Alexa in the chat says Caputo. Absolutely. That was Caputo. I love how many people from Orange is the New Black have appeared on SVU.
Did they shoot it in Orange is the New Black in New York?
I don't think so, but maybe. That
maybe
would make sense.
Or something. But I just feel like it's funny because I just started watching the Sex and the City reboot. I'm sorry, don't drag me for that. Is it good? No. Am I having the time of my life? Yes. But there's so many people that in the show Younger just rotate the same actors. Peter Herman was on it just like that is why I say that. Miriam Shore. And I'm just like, it's all the New York people, like that in SVU, everyone's about to appear on it because they shoot in NYC and fewer shows I feel are doing that now.
Yeah. I mean, currently no shows are doing it. But
currently no shows are shooting anywhere in the US, but
good.
Yes.
So let's talk about Diamond Dove.
It's such a good name.
First of all, his name is Dove. Second of all, the actor's Michael Denola. That man is not Israeli. That actor was not Israeli. That accent was not Israeli. Just need that on the record. It like started and I went, no, incorrect.
Good try. And yet.
Yeah. But we also have our football player played by Matthew St. Patrick. I remembered there was like a football player and a ring. Yeah. And I was like, is this the one with the down low? Oh no, that's the episode Down Low.
The other football one. The football player guy, for a hot second, I love Shark Tank, and he looks from the side like so much like Damon John. I go, hold on a minute. Is Damon in this episode? Because from this side profile, insane. And then from the front, they don't really look alike. And Damon's, I feel like, quite a bit shorter. But from the side, I was like, hold on a minute. Is that man an actor? And I didn't know it.
Hilarious. You know what this episode made me think?
What?
It made me think, I've never been to Atlantic City.
Dude, same. It kind of sounds fun. It's like the Vegas of the Northeast.
It feels like a real, like, sketchy Vegas.
Yeah.
Which is what I think of Reno.
Yeah, because Vegas is a sketchy Vegas. Like, and so Atlantic, that's a really saying something.
Accurate. Let me see. I'm looking through my notes. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the phone. I want to talk about the old school phone.
Yeah.
Because I definitely had a phone like that.
I did too. Okay. I'm not that young.
Adorable.
I had a razor.
A razor opens like this. Yes. That one opens like this.
Well, and then after my razor, I had a really fancy one that opened like this, and then it opened like this, and there was a full keyboard.
Full keyboard?
Nice.
I thought you were going to tell me you had a sidekick. I love sidekicks.
No, I wish bring them back.
My friend had a sidekick, and so this is pre-fidget spinners. She used to hand it to me, and I would flip it up, and then flip it down, flip it up.
They're entertaining. I would do, when I had the one that opened both ways, I would just flip it one way and then the other, and it was really sick because the keyboard like would change, so it was like numbers would open that way, and then it would change to letters, and it would just, you could watch it, and I'm sure that wasn't good for it, but I did it, and it lasted me a while. I had some little rainbow butterfly stickers on the back. It was sick.
I miss flip phones.
Same. Honestly the same.
As anyone who's listened to us consistently knows, I've been reading a lot recently, and every time I'm reading and they mention a phone, I instinctively imagine a flip phone.
As you should, honestly.
It takes me a minute to realize that we're in 2023 and it's a fucking smartphone. When they're like, I answered the phone, I swiped to answer, and I went, "You did what now? You flipped it."
Yeah.
Ugh. Stupid phones. I want to talk about Gloria and Adam and the idea that Adam was a gambling addict and that was what they were trying to fight. But really, Gloria was a gold digger.
Yeah. Obsessed.
Listen, I get it. You're spoiled and you want to be treated that way. You don't just say it.
I love that she owned it. Okay. Well, what about it? I have a lifestyle I need to maintain.
And he needed to earn me.
Yeah.
Oy.
Good for her.
All right. At this point, I think all I have are lines.
Yeah, I have a lot of lines.
Although I will say I liked the undercover. The fact that they went to the underground poker club and then it turned out that he was undercover. I love that.
Yeah. Agreed. I love
Alexa
that because that's the Dana Lewis of it all. Her impact.
Honestly, every time we do something and then find out that people were undercover and we interrupted it, love it.
Yeah, same.
Alexa in the chat says gold digger from a rich family, spoiled. Listen, being a gold digger does not require you to not have money, nor does it require you to have to go after somebody who does have money. I think you as a gold digger can be from any socioeconomic background and chase any socioeconomic background. The goal is one thing. Is the gold
no matter
digger,
how
right?
much gold anyone has, you can still try and dig it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She doesn't have that much gold, but she's gonna dig every last nugget.
Love it.
And of course, I'm a writer, as Yael said at the top of the hour.
I love you. All right, let's do best lines because I have 3.
Okay, I have many more than that, so you go ahead and go first.
Okay. So the first one I have is, I'm pre-med. I don't have time to read The Fairy Queen and write about the imagery of virtue for some ridiculous English requirement.
I actually hated that because I was a creative writing major and I was a literature minor, and all of my engineering friends would say shit like that. I'm like, yeah, it actually does take time. It actually is hard. So you guys can be quiet.
Look, no one is negating the value of that. It is not a value to a pre-med.
I agree. But I'm like, you guys, I have to take biology too. Do you think I'm having fun in the lab?
That's the other side.
I'm like, you guys could shut up because that's not important to me either. I don't care about what was it? Evolution. Was it the whole semester was evolution? Man, I don't give a single shit about evolution.
You don't care about evolution?
It's happening. It happened. We get it. I don't feel the need to examine it, you know?
I'm dying.
I don't care. We get it. The snake was a snake and now it's a lizard or whatever. I clearly didn't learn that much and didn't pay attention.
I just need on the record that Taylor.
I don't care. Put it into perspective, this class was so boring. I think it's so disrespectful of the text in class, and I never did it ever. The only class I texted in was the evolution class. I would bring my protein bar and eat in class, and I'd text in class because this man was so boring and I hated it. And then I had to go to a lab on top of it. No.
Taylor.
I'm so sorry. I hated it.
I have a question, and now I'm going to piss people off.
Okay.
You went to Catholic school, right?
Yes,
before you went to college?
Creationist. I believe in evolution. I just don't want to learn about it.
Were you raised studying creationism?
No.
Okay.
We had a regular biology class. I don't think we ever really learned evolution hardcore, but we weren't taught creationism either.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
No, that's a good thing to check.
Because I was about to be shocked and really not really sure where this friendship
I'd like to make it clear, I am not a creationist. I am not a flat earther. I am not a climate change denier. Like, I believe in science. I just don't enjoy studying it. Okay.
Fuck, this episode got
Off the rails.
I love it.
We're
Okay.
already learning so much.
My next quote hilariously was just the way Finn said, sorry for the interruption, stay in school.
Yep, have that one too.
And then it's a double D. I thought rings came in a different sizing system.
So good. So good.
All right, Taylor, take it away with your quotes.
Okay, so many. I just love that the sex worker's name was Vegas, and then she got to say the iconic line, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Incredible.
Gross. Gross when you start picturing it.
And also, I say who gets their pole smoked on my block. She's a legend. Bring her back. Wouldn't it be the first time a girl flat backed her way to a diploma? I hate that, but I had to bring attention to it. I love that the guy who bought one of the term papers was like the sandwich artist. Pepperoncini gives it insane bite, dude. Key to the power of the sandwich. It's so good. We had a couple of really good websites in this episode.
Yes.
AmyPronto.com as well as PokerFastlane.com. Really liked both of those. Singing the Indigo Girls in 5-part harmony, that's painful. But I didn't write it, but I did love that she snarked. She was like, oh, you're a cop and a comedian. Like, what don't you do? After he said that. I thought that was really funny. Make it out to Caroline Pereira in Care of the Afterlife. If you have time for blackjack, stick with the $5 tables. And this might be my actual favorite. He's got ice water in his veins. Like, he'd kill you, then send out for a pizza. Legendary.
Such a good line.
Why don't you shove that lock up your ass? Great. The fact his name was Jack King on the site is so good. Like, that is such a clever name. Jack King. Wasn't his real last name Holder or something too?
Adam's last name was Halder, but yeah.
Halder. Come on. That's even a little bit.
Yes.
Cheek. Adam isn't addicted to gambling. He's addicted to you. Is that so hard to imagine?
No.
Both that whole exchange was incredible to me.
Yes, but also no.
Adam isn't addicted to gambling. He's addicted to you.
I'm sorry. Is she or is she not exactly my type?
Yes.
I'm addicted to her.
I know. It's so hard to imagine. No, it's not. She's not really my type. She's a bit young for me.
We know.
They don't allow diamond rings in prison. You're going to have to settle for silver bracelets. So bad, but...
It was so bad.
Written so I would write it down on this sheet and say it.
Yeah.
So I had to just give them what they wanted with that one.
Thank you. You got all of the ones that I was like, Taylor would catch that one. Taylor would catch that one.
Yeah.
Taylor would catch that one.
I know my job. I know my role here.
Amazing. Let's keep going. We have no new reviews on iTunes, which is a bummer. If you like us and listen to us on iTunes, give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, give us 4 stars. Other stars are broken. Leave a comment if you like us, letting us know what you like. And if you don't like us, tell us how to improve. We might, unlikely, do whatever you suggest.
We might.
Just
tell me how you like my haircut.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It looks so good.
Thank you. I need the people to tell me.
Oh,
I like compliments.
Who doesn't?
That's so hard to imagine.
It's time for shower thoughts.
Yeah,
I came prepared.
Okay, you go then. You go ahead and take this.
I got this today. I got 2 shower thoughts today.
Okay.
For our friends who are listening in the shower, hi. First of all, this episode talks about classism, and we talk a little bit about Stabler's, what do I call it? Working class resentment. And this is just a reminder, not just for the people in the shower, but everyone listening, to tip your servers, to treat service industry people with respect. If you've never worked in a restaurant, first of all, everybody should. It should be like a requirement when you're in high school. You should do a semester forced to work in either a restaurant or like retail.
Yep. I work in both, everybody.
Same. I will say this for those who've never worked in a restaurant. The thing to know is, in this United States at least, servers are paid less than minimum wage because they are supposed to make it up in tips. So when you get service that is good, you should tip well. When you get service that is great, you should tip well. When you get service that is adequate, you should tip well. When you get service that is bad, you should tip adequately.
You should tip, period. It doesn't have to be 25%, but it should be decent. It should be at least, literally, if you get horrible service, I will not go below 15. Like, I feel bad if I get 15. Just saying.
If you have horrible service, you should absolutely complain, but tip. That person worked.
Agreed. You couldn't say, can I speak to your manager? But also, you need to have your money talk.
Right. So that's my first shower thought. My other shower thought was a lot about Gloria and her gold digging ways. And I will say this. I believe that you should absolutely spoil your partner. That doesn't mean financially, but spoil them. If you're with a person, show them you care. And although she was a kind of an asshole, I do understand expecting your partner to treat you well.
Know your worth, guys.
Know your worth.
Gloria was a little confused on her worth. Her worth wasn't that high, okay?
I disagree. I would treat her like a
bad. Her looks.
I would treat her like a fucking queen.
Oh yeah. Know your worth, Yael, and it's to have someone better than Gloria.
Okay. Anyway, those have been our shower thoughts. Good shower thoughts today. I came prepared.
Yes, you did.
Friends, you know that we sell ridiculous swag on Redbubble.
Yes.
Today I happened to pop in there because I was checking something out, and they're having a huge sale. I think there's a large percentage off. I don't recall what it was. I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. So if you have been waiting to get some S review swag, today is the day. For those listening later, today is Sunday, August 20th, and I don't know how long the sale is going. But I will say this. We're going to add new designs, new concepts very soon. Ideally today, if Taylor shares the thing with me.
Signed it, baby.
Great. Yes, so we're going to have some new designs. I'm very excited about that. But before we get to our other favorite segment, as you know, we've been doing back to school. But there have been a change in schedule. We will be off next week and we'll be back the week after. If you're looking at your screen now or looking at us now, you'll see the graphic, new update, new date. Impulsive season 9, episode 3 will be on September 3rd. September 3rd. And then on that date, we will have the schedule for the next bunch of episodes for whatever we're doing in September. Apparently not in September.
I would like to announce that the Redbubble sale is 30% off. I just love
Thank you for checking.
I might buy some stuff.
I already have a few things in my cart, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's on sale." Am I buying our designs? Yes,
maybe so. As you should.
Yeah. With that, it's time for what did we learn?
Oh my god. Well, we learned that I am not a creationist. Thank God. I'm hoping no one had that assumption.
Yeah.
I learned a bit about poker. Not much. But, yeah. I feel like I'm a little more knowledgeable about it. Yeah.
That's fair. That's what you learned?
Yep.
Okay.
He gives an insane bite, dude.
So I learned that my friend Anjali was in this episode that I didn't know. Which was a really fun surprise. And when I see her next, I will be like, hey, I didn't realize you were in the previous episode. I would have had her come on the show.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, we were supposed to do a thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess that didn't happen. We were supposed to have a guest.
Oh, well.
That fell through. Well, bummer. Yeah, that's what I learned.
I love that.
Anybody learn anything else? Alexa in the chat asks, and I think it's a fair question, how many incest eps are there other than Bombshell? Well, Alexa, quite a few.
Yep.
In fact, there's the episode that started this whole discussion, which was families. Send in the Clowns is technically an incest episode. Taylor.
A classic. We've already talked about it, though.
That's true. I think the James Vanderbeek, which we've also already talked about, is kind of incesty, but not actual incest. Look, the answer is there's a lot. There's plenty. There's enough to do a month.
But we're not going to.
We're not going to. I have been vetoed.
You have. Sorry, not sorry. I let you run wild most of the time.
Alexa says, guess I chose to forget them.
Fair enough.
As you should.
Fair enough.
That said, I guess let's do it this way. Friends, if you would like to suggest a theme, or if you have a list of episodes that fit a theme that you want to suggest, you have until, let's say, September 1st to submit those to us on social media.
Please.
Yeah, I think that's a good... that said, I already know which one I want to do after the next one. So, and you will all be surprised.
Oh, even me.
It was one that I was going to do for back to school, but I was like, I'll hold it. And now we're going to do it. It's still a school one.
Amazing.
So, yeah. Are there other things we want to talk about? Girl, will you?
Sorry. I have
drink some water?
Yes, I have it right here.
Okay, don't die.
Delsum.
What?
I took Delsum. It hasn't helped yet. I took it recently, so.
Let's see. All right. Well, on that note, Taylor, where are you on the internet these days? And if people want to suggest our next theme or some episodes, where can they find you?
I am on Twitter, aka X, at elf_Ann. I'm also on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. Yes.
Amazing. I am on Instagram at Yael Tygiel. That is YAELTYGIEL. And if you want to see what else I'm up to, check out the Electric Now app. It is free. You can watch the Almost Paradise after show called Paradise Found. You can watch After the Arc, and you can watch the official Leverage Redemption after show, which I do with Felicia. Until the 27th, apologies that we're skipping next week. We'll be back with Impulsive, which is the Melissa Joan Hart episode.
Until the 3rd.
The 3rd, that's what I meant.
Yes.
That's what I said.
It's
you
right.
heard me.
I knew what you meant. I just wanted the people to be very clear.
I appreciate that. Let me put that graphic up one more time in case you need it, because I've messed up. New date, September 3rd. Impulsive, Season 9, Episode 3. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.